receivers, but you really don't have a downtown guy with Alexander Wright out.
Wright underwent back surgery, and he is certainly not going to help the Rams for a long time after coming over from the Raiders.
That's more key the more we think about it. You know, there's a world-class sprinter. He's out. You don't have a deep threat.
On the ground on the kickoff. Daylight for Johnny Bailey, and he brings it back to the 44. 2 seconds left in the half.
Major return. I think the Eagles went to sleep. They came with the squib kick, and they figured, oh, by the time they fool around and get the ball, the clock will be out and all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? Bailey gets a monster return, and they're going to line it up and go for it right here. And this is a huge one.
They brought in McLaughlin for a field goal try. This would be a 62-yard field goal. His longest in the preseason, 51 yards. His longest in the regular year, 45. And it's wide left. And well short. Well, you take a shot. Well, that's the end of the first half. Philadelphia leading 10-0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with a Doctors Half tonight. Tom Brenneman, Ron Pitts, our entire Fox crew back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. A 10-0 Eagles lead at halftime. And Ron, how about this Philadelphia passing game? They had a grand total of 66 yards through the air last week in the win over New York. They're doing everything right in the air here today.
Well, you know, they're number one in the NFL as far as the run is concerned. Everybody knew that, but they're 28th in terms of the pass. Nobody expected them to be able to throw the ball like they've thrown it, but they are getting it done without Barnett, who is their big-time, big-play guy. So that's pretty amazing in itself. And, you know, you go back to that touchdown pass to Williams in the second quarter. Nobody was around him, didn't have anybody covering him. He just drags across the field. Like I say, I think it's some kind of breakdown. Runs right by Lyle, who's in the center, but I think Toby Wright or somebody has to have that deep third. And, you know, getting William Fuller back, the defensive end, that's been a big deal, too. Working on Ashmore, who's had his problems, and now he's giving problems to Chris Miller.
Well, the Philadelphia defense, #1 in the NFL, and they certainly have played up to that ranking here today, as the statistics would indicate.
Well, that's what we talked about right there, the unusual one from a 28th ranked team in the NFL. But here, you know, this is also killing them, and that's the reason for the switching by Dan Radakovich, the offensive line coach, to get some new looks in there. But if you're the Rams, the most disheartening thing is that you've had the ball longer, and you can't do anything. And when the team sees that Isaac Bruce is not getting downtown, and they really don't have another deep downtown threat, it's got to be demoralizing.
Well, Rich Brooks told us last night that one of the real differences between college coaching and the pro ranks is the amount of time you have to make adjustments at halftime. In the college game, 20 minutes. In the pro game, 12 minutes. And there are plenty of adjustments that need to be made right now for the Rams.
What did he say? You got about just enough time to go to the bathroom, say hello, pat somebody on the back if they're doing a good job, and give them a frown if they're doing a bad job, and then go back out in the field and play. And that's key. You can't make those adjustments. That's an adjustment for him coming into this game.
Underway in the second half. Philadelphia will get the football. Tillman Martin from his own 10. And he brings it out to the 26 before he is tripped up by Dexter Davis, backup cornerback. Rodney Peete and the Philadelphia Eagles gunning for their 4th straight win. See what they've done during the 3-game winning streak. A grand total of 12 sacks, 7 takeaways. Today they have 4 sacks.
The big key there is the sacks, but the takeaways. The Rams have prided themselves on the takeaway. They haven't gotten them today.
A little problem before we get started.
Stadium. Whoa. A little problem.
Yeah. Part of the turf, you see, seam there from where they covered up for baseball for the Philadelphia Phillies games. And that's come loose. Well, this turf has come under a lot of fire here in Philadelphia,
you know,
through the years.
They finally changed it this year, and everybody's okay and they're happy. But yet, you know, you see things like this happening. And if you're running along, I mean, that seam there looks like about a good 7-8 feet long, maybe. You get your foot caught in that thing.
Piece of it actually has been torn away. Well, this certainly creates a major problem for the grounds crew.
Guys on the walkie-talkie trying to get the grounds crew back out. The grounds crew, he's probably in his office there having a hot dog. He's saying, we're on turf. I don't have to take care of anything.
Gordon McCarter, the referee, will talk things over. Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, brought in Ray Rhodes as his head coach. And obviously Rhodes, after a slow start trying to get this West Coast offense in gear, has his team, despite not playing great football, they're finding a way, Ronnie, to win games, and that's all that matters.
Well, I talked about this earlier. Ray Rhodes says there's no way we can take that laid-back, relaxed approach that the 49ers have taken for so many years out there. We don't have the talent, we don't have the people, and we got to get guys used to being tough, playing hard ball.
Get a look at the Temple University Bell Tower here in downtown Philadelphia. Having a little turf problem, more than just a little one, down on the field here at the Vet. You may remember in the preseason, the Houston Oilers had problems in the Astrodome, forcing a cancellation of its preseason game against San Diego. And we have a delay after the opening kickoff of the second half. Right now, let's send it back to our Hollywood studio for a McDonald's game break and James Brown.
All right, Tom. Well, guess what? The Falcons having some trouble with Dallas. Aikman pumping, going deep. Guess who, too? The favorite receiver, Irvin. Little push off. Irvin, big game. 6th consecutive game, over 100 receiving yards. Dallas on top by 11. Back to Tom and Rob.
10-0 game. Third quarter just underway. Having turf problems here. St. Louis had the same kind of thing at Busch Stadium before its first game. Actually had to pull out the covers of where the bases would normally be for the St. Louis Cardinals games, much like the problem right now. The Phillies make their home here at Veterans Stadium along with the Eagles.
Well, that's something else. See, what's happened is you can see the separation there between the infield and the rest of the turf. Well, that little ribbon, they stick down in there just to cover it up. That ribbon came out, so the guy's got a screwdriver and just basically jamming it back down in there.
It's a good feeling, isn't it, knowing you're playing on that?
Yeah, but now you got to explain to everybody how come it wasn't in right the first time.
Or find out who didn't get it right.
Yeah, there you go.
You always have to blame somebody, don't you?
That's an art.
Yes, it is. The American way. So here we go at the 26. It'll be 1st and 10 for Pete and the Eagles offense. Ricky Waters maybe picked up a yard. Free safety Keith Lyles, second year out of Virginia, up to make the tackle.
They brought down the 8-man front like we talked about. This is a good picture of it. Lyles, he's going to come right down in here, and all that does is create a problem for the offensive line. They can't match it up. It's just going to be 7 on 8. See right there, he gets in on the play. That's the difference.
Second down and 9 for the Eagles, and Pete to throw. Steps up and just throws it away. Well defended. Carlos Jenkins right in the face of the intended receiver, Ricky Waters. So it'll now be 3rd and 9.
It's amazing when you stop that run with that 8-man front, everything else comes into play. Now everybody's not worried about it. They can relax and play pass. This is the 8-man front. Watch this man right here. He's going to creep up, and that's what makes it 8-man. If you count, it's 8 on 7, and they're in this box. And there's no way these guys can pick it all up. One man is going to be free at all times to make the tackle.
4 receivers set for the Eagles on a 3rd and 9. Quick hitter, complete for a first down out to the 39 to Kelvin Martin, 9-year pro out of Boston College.
Boy, those are the things that really take the wind out of this defense. You stop them on first down, you get second down, you shut down the pass, and now they go right back in your seams. And I attribute that to the West Coast offense, throwing on rhythm. Defense is reactionary. They just simply can't react that fast. That's why the 49ers, I mean, they've been running it for 10 years. That's why they're so good at it.
12-yard gain out of the I formation. Charlie Gardner slips a couple of tackles. He's out close to the 44. You know, the Rams defense really didn't have to face the 49ers offense all that frequently last week, because after so many turnovers, the Niners didn't have to go very far to get into the end zone.
Yeah, and it was the field position type thing. You know, we talk about that often with the special teams, so on and so forth. And the Rams coming into this game have had that with the trick plays and all.
The Rams actually outgained San Francisco in total yardage last week by 98 yards. He has it incomplete, is trying to dump it off on a second down throw to Fred McCrary, and there's Roman Pfeiffer again.
Yeah, Roman Pfeiffer stepping around, making the big play. You don't see linebackers like Roman Pfeiffer. He's kind of a different breed. He's strong enough up top in his upper body, if you look at him, to take on guards and tackles in a run type situation. Looking at him, he's looking at that play to call from the sidelines. But you look at his lower body, he can go man-to-man with people. He can cover in the secondary.
3rd and 5. Here comes a blitz. Eagles pick it up. He overthrows his intended receiver, Kelvin Martin, who is open. So the Eagles will have to punt it away.
Boy, they're mad at Ed West, 83, the tight end. He came across and ran a pick play to try to pick for that man there, Martin. And Anthony Parker and Lyle, boy, they jumped all over him. They're pointing at him, trying to tell the referee, watch this guy coming across and picking us.
Tommy Hutton to punt it away. Todd Kinchin stands just inside his own 20. Good kick. Kinchin at his 10. Finds some daylight. Out across the 30, out to the 33. Mark Woodard, the last man between Kinchin and the punter, Tommy Hutton. 46-yard punt, 23-yard return. It's 10-0 Eagles. Second half just underway here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Sellout crowd on hand. Temperatures in the 60s. And the Eagles gunning for their 4th straight win, while the Rams are trying to avoid a 2nd straight loss. 10-0 Eagles. First possession of the second half for Chris Miller. Bruce in motion. A quiet first half for him. Kinchin on the near side makes the catch, and he has the first down.
Yeah, I would expect the Rams to work Kinchin a little bit more. Kinchin seems to be always the guy that people forget about. And he can make things happen. He's a big play, kind of real gutsy receiver. He's just going to come down and run it out. He's going to take advantage of the distance he's given in between by the corner. But in all fairness to that route, the Eagles, they're up 10-0. They're not going to be real aggressive in their man-to-man coverage.
Bettis slammed down across the 45 out to the 47 by Greg Jackson, up from his free safety spot to meet him. Jerome Bettis has carried the ball 10 times for 27 yards. And we go back to the opening of the telecast, the fact that Bettis has not reached the 100-yard mark in a game rushing, going all the way back to October the 2nd of last year against Atlanta.
Yeah, and what did he say? He said, it's not that I'm not involved in the game and in the plan. Running isn't a priority. Last year when we were struggling, the year before, it was priority.
Second down, Miller. Quick shot to Isaac Bruce, and he loses the ball. And he's out of bounds. They mark it at the 31. That is the first gain of any substance by Isaac Bruce today.
He's working on Bobby Taylor. Just going to come down and do a little stop route. But now watch Bobby Taylor. He doesn't make the tackle. And really, I think Bruce is going to run for a touchdown. He's got one man to beat down there and then just loses the football.
What a season it's been, however, for Isaac Bruce. The 13th of 15 children in his family. Had 3 straight 100-yard receiving games. 30 yards total today, however. Leonard Russell, maybe a yard. Andy Harmon, the first man to greet him. Had some help from Fuller.
Yeah, interesting story as we look at Romanowski getting down in there with Daryl Ashmore. Now, Isaac Bruce told us yesterday, he said, I don't think as much as I thought last year.